Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, back on the cord, it is Joshua. Gangsta time, go!
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Josh?
Oh, here we go. What's good, guys? What up, everybody listening?
Hey, buddy.
Here, recording from my new setup yet again.
The new studio. Very, very nice digs, Josh. I mean, I'm excited. Are you gonna decorate it more?
I'm sorry?
Are you gonna decorate it more?
Yes. You will see a lot more happening back here.
Hell yeah. Also joining us is our producer, Edgelord Big News, Brian.
Sup?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, you know, just chilling, chillaxing, relaxing, acting all cool, playing some b-ball down by the school.
Wow. But no, you're not. You're here on the show. You can't be playing
right.
b-ball down by the school. Very excited to be back on the show today. We got all manga lineup. The manga's back. Very excited. But before we could do that, let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And at NY Chillin with an EN, not an ING. That's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh, wow. All in one breath. What a consummate professional.
Too easy.
You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll every week before the manga, after the manga chapters drop on Sundays, the official release manga chapters. So check us out on that. Also, you can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. We are on our email at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com, or you can comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full version of the podcast or the little episode highlights that we break out for every manga we talk about. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'll be very sweet of you to do. Please do that. Like, share, do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. Also, we are every single episode we've ever done is on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. There was a great purge on our previous YouTube channel. So we only have a couple of we only have like 75 and above for our show here. So check out our iTunes and whatnot for the rest of the backlog, if you're so inclined. And I think that's it. Spoiler alerts ahead. It is time to get the show started. One Piece.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is One Piece chapter 1037, Drunken Dragon Bagua. You already know what time it is with that title. We get a little Germa 66 update from the cover page story. Apparently this cover page saga is called Germa 66's an emotionless excursion. So, and the second chapter of this is Judge Size. So I guess they're just looking on as they take their L in peace. Yeah. And the chapter opens back at the flower capital in Wano. All the citizens are vibing, having a good time at the fire festival. They're all sending these lantern balloons. They call sky boats, I guess. That they send off as a little bit of a a tradition to wish basically writing to their dearly departed ancestors. It's a very sweet thing. I feel like that's gonna come back. It's going to be really symbolic and cool. I could see a 2-page spread coming with these things. I'm kind of excited to see what Oda has in store. Meanwhile, back on top of the Onigashima, on the roof of it, the top of the fucking skull of whatever they're fighting on, we see Luffy is just watching as Kaido is getting lit out of his fucking mind. He's just drinking a barrel full of sake, it looks like. And Luffy's like, why are you drinking right now in the middle of this fight? And Kaido's just like, because I'm having fun, you know? He says, you want one?
You I can't even do it. Look at that lie.
Wait, which one?
Luffy says that he's totally drunk.
Oh, yeah. He goes, okay, I think I got this one. He says, That's really funny. Given how like particular One Piece laughs are, the fact that he seems to like jump between laughs, I guess it's like a personality shift. Like every time he drinks, as we see going forward, his personality changes. But you know, Kaido's having a great time. He's getting lit. He's having a battle of his life. And Luffy's like, well, whatever. Don't use that as an excuse for why I beat you. Got it? And he's like, don't be stupid. I wouldn't make myself weaker. It's a sign that I've accepted you. And I'm like, cool. Luffy tries to do something there. He like does his like big giant punch, and Kaido just matrix dodges it while laughing drunkenly. And he lets out this technique that is the title of this chapter, the Drunken Dragon Bagua, where he just like roids himself up. Yeah, he just like roids himself up from the torso up and just slams down on Luffy with some lightning, I guess, attached to it. Maybe it's just the hockey lightning. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If it's actual lightning, it doesn't really matter.
No. So yeah, the ensuing attack just causes a massive crack in the roof from inside the dome. They could see it. Which seems to be like kind of a big deal. There are on top, fighting on top of a giant, vague monster skull. So
that shit is strong as hell. I mean, it's taken a beat down from the fighting upstairs.
Yeah, the entire time, right?
Demolished yet.
Yeah.
So it's not regular stone. It's definitely some type of creature.
Oh, definitely. I'm very interested because I know that
San
like
Jose's down.
I know that
San Juan Wolf.
Oh, San Juan Wolf. You think it's his cousin or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kaido goes full dragon as he like goes off to the side, and he's getting bummed out. Actually, he's like, as fun as this may be, the castle and the island are half destroyed already. Oh, they're useless to me now. I'm so miserable. I can't even keep one castle intact. Oh my god, I this is really endearing me to Kaido. This sad drunk Kaido, as Luffy is just writhing in pain. Like fuck, he's so damn strong. And Luffy.
I don't think I've ever seen a sad dragon face.
Well, there it is.
Maybe I have. I'm pretty sure I have before. I had to have seen it. But
have you seen Dragon Tales? They get pretty sad. Yeah.
They always.
They're sad dragons on that.
Especially the big goofy one. He's always like,
I accidentally broke something or something.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But anyway.
Yeah, Luffy goes off to try and attack again, and then Kaido just attacks him, like using his like some kind of wind attack to like send Luffy flying backward. And now he's just weeping, just like, stay away from me, just leave me alone, you idiot. And he's literally, as he's charging Luffy, just still crying. He's literally like, boo hoo hoo. He's just like, this is what happens to people who don't take a hint. And that's Luffy just like goes after him. You know, they're about to clash. Luffy does a sick fucking kick to the face on Kaido. Just like flips around and like knocks him back on his ass. But Kaido he feels it, but he still like kind of eats it, and then grabs Luffy with his tail and just like pulls him forward to, I guess, give him like the headbutt of the gods. Luckily, Luffy has the Conqueror's Haki to just kind of like not immediately die from this, and is still hurt. He's sent backwards, and he kind of loses this battle in terms of like the Haki, because as Kaido is getting more and more drunk, he's getting stronger. As Kaido,
that's interesting.
yeah, and as Kaido transitioned into, I guess, his ultimate form with it, which is angry drunk Kaido. As he
literally shoots a hyper beam.
Yeah,
yeah. Luffy, that's what he's resorted to, shooting beams, dragon style.
Yeah. As a human, I think, is this the first time we've seen him in his humanoid form kind of shoot a fireball? I don't even remember. But yeah, Luffy dodges that, thank God, because he would have been annihilated. And then he does his like Red Rock Gatling as Kaido does a Gatling move of his own, which is basically just swinging his fucking club around to counter each one of Luffy's massive, giant third gear fists. And they both land consecutive blows on each other. They're just like trading blows left and right. Luffy luckily finds an opening and he just like lays a fucking epic kick on Kaido that seems to actually do real damage to him.
Why does his foot look like that? Am I bugging?
Where?
His foot look real weird.
I guess it's because like it's also giant, so he like made it really big and it's off screen. Like so.
Is that a bunch of toes?
No,
sandal?
That's his sandal. Yeah, that's his sandal. Even his sandal has hockey, dude.
I forgot about that. Yeah, why not? They can put it into swords. Why not sandals?
Yeah.
Imagine putting hockey on your Jordans.
Ooh. now you're talking. I'm very.
Dude, you put some hockey on some Timbs and stomp somebody out, it's over for their career.
For real.
And probably their life.
Yeah, you're breaking ribs easily. Without even, you don't even have to do anything because like the way hockey works is like, especially this hockey is if they come near you, you're just being propelled away. So you're just getting blasted by these Tims.
By just being around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we cut to the final 2 pages of the chapter, which is something I didn't expect at all. What happens? This is the first. Okay, so this is the first time, not during act breaks of the Wano arc, that we kind of cut over to somewhere to kind of check the status on the outside world, and it's kind of related to Wano, as we see. The 5 elders are talking about, huh?
You gonna say where they're at?
Oh, they're in Marijois. What?
Damn, bro. I asked him. I could say what they was.
Oh, I thought you said, "Can you?" I didn't say it. I'm sorry. Want to say it? I'm sorry.
Sacred marijuana.
Yeah.
Marijuana. Red wine.
Yeah. They're just talking about.
A little bit more respect and style than that. This is the place in one.
I thought it was like pronounced Marijois because it's like.
No, I did that myself. Marijuana. Marijuana.
Yeah. So the 5 elders are like gathered around talking about what a shit show the Reverie was. And they're like, just get over it, bro. Everything's fine, it seems. That
was 3 days ago, bro.
Yeah, get over it. Wano's important right now because I guess they just caught wind of what's been happening. As we've seen, they've sent ships over to Wano to kind of like take advantage of whatever fallout happens, whether Luffy wins or Kaido wins. But there is a bit of a disturbance as one of the people on the world's government ships peeps a fucking giant shadow ahead. And they're like, what is it? And he's like, I don't know. And an island? And the 5 elders kind of immediately know what time it is already. It's like, an island? Oh, shit. He's like, no, impossible. And they say very cryptic shit that annoyed me that the way this chapter ends because it's pretty crazy. They basically say like, no, that's impossible. That fruit is only a legend to us now. It is not awakened for centuries upon centuries. And then I guess the youngest of the 5 elders is like, then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? And they say that it's to erase that fruit's name from the annals of history, isn't? As we see the final panel, it's Zoe walking up to Wano. And that is pretty wild. Did not expect that whatsoever.
I mean, he is still out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool that Zoe could walk through all of these, like, Japanese whirlpool waters.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's still out there, but I wasn't expecting him to just pull up to Wano. We were just there. But wow, what a crazy twist. Okay, so there's obviously a lot to unpack here, but I guess general thoughts for me. This was mostly it's like 95% an action chapter, which was very fun. Very cool to see Luffy again after all this time. And yeah, the battle is just awesome, and I'm glad that it's not like I'm glad that there's still more to see from it. Obviously, these last 2 pages are fucking insane. I don't even know what to make of it, really. I know Brian has some theories for us.
I know what to make of it.
Oh, wait, Brian. Before you get into your theories, I want to hear Josh's. He seems to have...
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. There's only one thing to say, bro. The Gomu Gomu new fruit. There's no... It's not... I'm telling you, bro. It's not...
You don't think it's Zoe? I think they're talking about Zoe. That the Zoe... Like, Zoe has something to do with...
He's just pulling up.
Nah, because they talking...
I think the fruit they're talking about is Luffy's fruit.
No, because they know about Luffy's fruit. I feel like they would have had this...
They never seen it before in their life. Have they ever seen it with their actual eyes?
I think they're really talking about Zoe. I think Zoe is either an elephant that ate the island fruit, or... But he can't be an island that ate the elephant fruit, because the elephant fruit has already been eaten.
Yeah.
This
that
is why...
so sick.
It's been eaten by Spandam's sword. Spandam's sword has the elephant fruit.
Right. I'm ready now. I was just joking. No, I actually do think it's the gumbo fruit, but whatever.
What
were you saying, bro?
All right. So here's the theory, okay? It's not my theory. This is a theory that's circulating on the internet. That Zunesha is actually Pluton.
It can't be Pluton.
It's Pluton that ate a mythical elephant fruit.
Well, I don't know, because there's no mythical elephants
that we know of.
I don't know.
So the theory is
Pluton is is one of the like 3 big weapons.
It's Pluton, Neptune, which we already know is basically the girl.
Yeah,
right?
Pluton is the warship that Crocodile was after, and also the CP9. And Uranus is something we don't know what it is yet, but that's what the last one is called.
Maybe he's Uranus.
Maybe. It could very well be that he's Uranus.
That's an elephant the size of an island. Giant asshole. Could be Uranus.
That could be it.
Oh wait, the theory is circulating that Zoe is a is at least an ancient weapon that ate a fruit, and now it is wandering.
It's funny because I don't know how that would be possible, given how like it was Vegapunk who kind of created the means of which items can eat devil fruits. So it is kind of I don't know how much I buy that theory.
So the theory, the context for the theory is that the ancient civilization before, like during the Void Century, created Pluton, and Pluton was somewhat used in some way, like they were framed in some way, the ancient civilization. So they had to the entire world was against them, and they decided that they did not want Pluton to get into other people's hands. So they decided to give Pluton a fruit and then send it to endlessly wander. So that way people cannot find Pluton.
Well, Zoe was apparently like walking around for as long as he has been is kind of like a punishment for Zoe's crime. Like Zoe has committed
exactly, and that's the crime of existing that that many people face. Like Robin's crime for existing, and similar to Robin's crime, and who else? Who else was it? There was another person they mentioned.
Luffy?
No, not
Ace. Being alive.
Like the world government often, when it comes to the world government, it's very often like a crime to be a powerful figure to some extent. Like when it comes to like ancient weapons, like regarding Robin, Like she literally just knows things, and that's why it's a crime for her to even be alive. So Zoe could literally be endlessly walking for a punishment of literally being created.
Yeah, but the thing is that like if the like Void Century civilization created Zoe as like a means of protection, then why would they just send it to walk away?
Because they didn't want people to use it. And they made it a point to say that you cannot find Zoe unless you have a Viver card on you that somebody on Zoe has. So it's literally untrackable. You cannot find Zoe like by any means. So it's if you wanted to hide a weapon, if it's walking around, you're not going to find it.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible. I like to think that also, like, Zoe seems to have an actual history with Wano, given how the Minks have very long, like, ties with Wano. How, like, you know, the samurai are easily able to find it. So maybe, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Zoe itself is, like, closely tied with Wano in some way or another as well. Because Wano would be old enough, seeing as how they were the ones who created
that skull dome they're in. Do you think it's another mammoth skull? No way.
Let me see. I'm trying to get like
that
a
would be
good reference.
really interesting. Does it have tusks?
It does have tusks, but they point upward, which aren't. They're like on the side. So
it could be a One Piece elephant.
That's true. It could be a One Piece elephant.
Specific, you know.
It looks like a humanoid skull on top of that. So I don't know.
I'm gonna stick to Sandworm Wolf. So
Sandworm Wolf's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's something to it. I feel like obviously Zoe is on a punishment. That much is established. So
yeah, I didn't even know that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
but we don't know what Zoe did. But we know what the punishment is, which is he has to walk around, and it just so happens to be a civilization on his back. It has nothing to do with Zoe.
No. Yeah, the Minks kind of just somehow have landed upon and made Zoe their home. So, and I don't think like the Minks necessarily were like even natives of Zoe. I would even think that they just kind of like found that land one day, like ancestors found that land and made it their home. Mm-hmm. But who knows? I mean, you know, they don't give us much to go on. Oda is the king of just starting things and just waiting and waiting and waiting to establish. So, you know, the reason like so many wild theories can be made about One Piece is that like the foreshadowing, if there is any for any major twist, is so fucking subtle that you really only see it like way down the line. It's kind of crazy how that works, or how Oda is able to do it. I guess this is because like he's got so much shit around his world that he can just kind of like, well, look over there now, you know, and make us forget about certain things. Plus, this series is over 1,030 fucking chapters long, so he might have given us the answer a long time ago.
I wonder if one of my last places. I wonder if Momo ended up calling Zanisha.
Who knows? That's a good idea. That's a good thought.
They do have a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thought. It could be possible that Momo inadvertently brought Zoe there.
Momo, I'm calling you Zanisha. I don't know why he would say his own name, but
yeah,
maybe it's to establish the psychic connection. Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, let us know what you guys think. We're not very good
theorists.
Nobody's
RGC.
Oh,
no one has an RGC for Zunisha.
You know what? Shit.
Nah. This is a good chapter, but it wasn't RGC.
This was a really good chapter, but it's not the really good chapter. I would say this is second place when I'm thinking about it. This is a close second for me. When they explain Zunisha, then it will be my RGC.
No doubt.
I refuse to.
But right now, there's no love for Zuzu.
Yeah. We're not much of theorists on this show. We're very much like, we tell you how we feel about the chapter, but, you know, I feel like we're 0-16 when it comes to theories, so we try not to make.
I was right about something, so you can take that 0.
I mean, I can't keep score. We got to keep score of the theories we get wrong. But in any case, I think that's it for One Piece. It was a great chapter. Had a great time reading it. Lots of fun. Let us move onward. My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 340, wherever this chapter title is. Oh, it's at the very end. I remember now. This is chapter 340, the story of how we all became heroes, part 3. So, last we left off, All Might was, just about to get into his plan to finally strike back against All for One. And we open with that, basically. We find out that Ragdoll of the Wild Wild Pussycats is there. The one with the search quirk that has been...
Had the search quirk.
Had. Did I say has?
Yeah.
Apologies.
She don't have shit no more.
She has nothing.
I think you said the one with the search quirk. And
yeah, I said the one with. And then Josh couldn't wait to say that she's powerless right now. She has no powers. But yeah, they're about to go into
she's got powers already, but not a quirk power.
Can you say that?
She's got powers, she's not quirks.
Yeah. I don't know what her powers would be. But anyway, we get into the plan, and the plan is actually fairly simple. Overall, no matter what they do, whether it's plan A or plan B, the overall idea is to split up All for One and Shigaraki, so that it would, I guess, kind of weaken their overall power. Because, obviously, the closer they are together, All for One can still fight, apparently. So, they would rather take them on separately and somewhat weakened, but now that they're both not together, than together. And there are obviously some obstacles. Obviously, Dobby's there. There's also the other members of the Paranormal Liberation Movement, the League of Villains captains, I guess, and many, many more. And also the jailbroken villains. You name it, they got it. And of course, the only solution is the one thing we've been asking for this entire time: individual battles. We have to break them up one by one and individually battle them. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They have to take down the strongholds of other villain groups. What are you not reading from this? He literally said, every one of our major enemies, major operatives, we must divide and conquer one by one. You're shaking your head at me with your whole body? Come on, man.
Yes, again, that's how much I disagree with you.
What do you mean?
They're going up on every single one of them. And then bing, bang, boom, bada bing. They're going to win. Things are going to happen.
Yeah, but
maybe somebody die. It'll be really sad. They'll talk about justice.
They'll gang up on them in the same way that, the Straw Hats are ganging up on Kaido's crew.
At this point, they have so little resources compared to the League of Villains that they could easily pick people who match up with obstacles. You're gonna put Dobby versus Endeavor and Todoroki, and you could just keep dividing it from there, because there's a lot of shit that they have to take care of. There's a lot of people out there that these guys need to take care of. So there's gonna be a lot of people who can shine in these little cracks.
Josh, I'm just trying to keep hope alive already. All right.
We all have dreams. We all have our wants in life.
What, you think that they're just gonna put Tail Dude in front of Dobby and
I think that's absolutely what's not gonna happen. There's not gonna be any one-on-ones. There's not gonna
You don't know that.
I challenge you.
Yeah.
I
thought you were gonna challenge me.
I challenge you.
No, I think.
No, let me drop the facade. I actually did not even consider when they was talking about this. I didn't even consider that there would be one-on-one matchups. I thought they were just trying to say that they had to deal with the lower level cronies first before they get to him, and I just didn't get one-on-ones out of that. But it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I got out of it. It's we gotta take
1v1s happen a lot in My Hero compared to most series. So I think We literally just had an arc with a 1v1.
Who?
Stars
Aoyama versus Eraserhead?
Stars and Stripes versus Shigaraki.
Stars and Stripes and a fleet of fucking jet fighters.
Do they really count? They're literally weapons. They're essentially just weapons.
They were very integral to the fight, mind you.
They're literally basically weapons.
They literally were integral to the fight. And
yeah, integral to the fight as weapons.
It was him and All For One. So even if you don't count the excellently skilled and unbelievably talented
my god, you're such a fucking troll.
And it's still a 2-on-1.
It's basically a 1v1. It's like having Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and being like
person that can create rules out of nothing. That don't make no sense. Man. You can't 1v1 something like that. So
they literally did that. They literally did that.
It wasn't. We can do this for hours.
Well, fuck me for keeping hope alive, huh, Josh? Throw me under the bus.
Shame on you, Chris. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Yes. Disappointed as per usual.
Well, anyway, I guess we're moving on then. Fuck that. I'm not getting into this. I was just trying to be optimistic here. I'm the unbiased king. Anyway, we cut. That's the plan. They're gonna split everyone up. They're gonna try to pick off the League of Villains one by one, and then try to separate Shigaraki. And then we cut over to Aizawa about to talk to Aoyama about his goal and all his role in all this stuff. Aoyama's feeling hella bad for everything he's done. The Japanese chicken doctor makes a reappearance. I never thought we'd see him again.
The return of the chicken doctor, the best character in the series.
Honestly.
All right. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, they're based. Aizawa. Yeah, Aizawa.
The cutlets are high.
What?
I said the stakes are high, but because of the chicken.
All right. Anyway.
No. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. It was all right. I was being too cruel. Anyway, so I guess Aizawa is just in retrospect, if he really planted that explosive ability. Oh, they find that Aoyama's not been fucked with. He has no bomb in him whatsoever, and I guess neither does his family. So all's good with Aoyama. Aizawa's just oh, he really didn't do that. I guess if he'd really planted an explosive ability in the boy that would trigger in the event of a betrayal, then why murder that other peon as a lesson? Why threaten the family with death? And he's I guess the only thing that All For One planted was a seed of fear. He didn't really have to do anything to get Aoyama to betray him. Really,
I think that was very sloppy of him to not do it, though.
Yeah, it is. It is a little weird for a guy who was I plan. Oh, but to be honest, they also say that whatever ability that Aoyama contained within him, it was probably acquired after he made Aoyama betray anyway. He turned Aoyama. So, I feel that was definitely a thing that they
also he got the job done regardless. He got everything he needed out of Aoyama. So
yeah,
I feel it basically worked.
I mean, obviously it worked.
He manipulated a child. I don't think it was that hard for a supervillain.
Well, he also manipulated adults in his parents. But he is a scary man with ultimate powers, so I don't think he really needs to be I put a bomb in you to scare somebody.
Yeah, Aoyama's not about to revolt against the greatest villain of all time in this world.
Yeah. So, yeah. Aizawa just looks at him and is you won't find many friends in life that'll stick up with you for you like that. So, what do you fear?
Unless you're in class 1A.
Yeah, unless you're with your best nakama. And basically, Aoyama also says that he's also scared that he can never sparkle and shine as they do. The more faith that they express in him, the more faith he loses in himself. He's just afraid that like even if he offers his hand and tries to help, he's already caved to All for One once. Who's to say he won't do it again? So that's really what he's afraid of, is that if he joins up with him, he won't have the guts to really stick with that decision and trust them to like kind of keep it together. You know, he'll just, if he's scared enough, he'll just like side with All for One, and that's what he's concerned with. And he's just like, man, I just want to fucking go into some dark corner untouched by the rest of the world, and where I could wait for death to take me. And Aizawa lays it on pretty thick immediately. He's just like, you may have been giving leniency, but your sins will be with you forever. And once this war is over, you may not have a home in UA anymore. So, you know, your friends like to sugarcoat shit, but I'll set you straight. He says, you will fight.
Yeah, you know, right now, you're not going to be valid.
Yeah, you're going to fight. You're going to fight on our side, whether you like it or not. We need you, and we're going to use you just like All for One used you. And that's pretty much the best that you can do, you know? But he said the bright side is that, like, I won't let you slink off haunted by those sins and die a quiet, pathetic death. It is my duty as your teacher to give you a chance at redemption. I don't want, like, none of my lessons are about living a life burdened by guilt. So as ashamed and despicable as you feel, you will walk alongside the friends who still reach out to you and will protect you. Stick with them and you'll be okay. And Aoyama seems more affirmed, and he's like, but what can I do? What can a single miscreant like me accomplish? And Aizawa's like, well, you're not the only one I'm putting on this path. And this chapter ends with a couple students looking up saying, it's time, let's go, with a big panel revealing that Shinso is also involved in whatever plan B this seems to be. And he's got his like Spider-Man pose hanging off the rail.
Sick. I was so happy when I saw Shinso.
Yeah,
I was so happy when I saw Shinso, man.
Yeah, I saw that. That was I also like that a lot. I was like, Shinso in his Spider-Man pose. You know how Horikoshi loves Spider-Man.
Dude, I love Shinso so much. I'm so excited to see what he could do with this character, because it's such an interesting quirk to be paired with Aizawa's kind of style of fighting, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of shit he's gonna do with that.
Yeah, I imagine this is gonna be very much. What I'm hoping is that, like, not that this is like Sasuke retrieval arc, but the idea is that, like, he's the Shikamaru of a cell of just like of like supporting characters, and maybe Deku as they go off to accomplish some kind of mission. I think that would be pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be one of those big brain players in this team.
Yeah, but that's this chapter. I thought it was fine. I and you know, the only reason I think it's fine is because, like, it's just kind of, it was good. It was like a solid chapter. I'm past the Aoyama twist and what it means, whatever. It is what it is, but for what it is right now in this chapter, I appreciate the effort into developing his character a little bit, and giving us kind of a path to what his character is going to face down the road. I think it's solid. It's fine, but the detriment in this chapter for me is that, like, this is the upteenth time that I'm about to say, now's the time they're going to start the arc and this story will actually get moving. Because for a series that's like weirdly like pushing towards an end, it's also doing like a lot of re-explaining shit, like very slowly, and, you know, getting the objectives of things out very slowly. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm glad. Hopefully, next chapter will finally get into whatever the next arc is, because the only thing that, and it's not that I have a problem with necessarily the content of what's going on here, but they've said a version of everything, of almost everything they've said here, except for the Aoyama character development stuff. They've said almost everything here in one way or another, like 7 times up to this point, ever since Deku came back to UA. So, every chapter seems like kind of a repeat of what happened last, and hopefully that ends now because I just want shit to get going. But that's all I gotta say about the chapter. What are your boys' thoughts?
I like this chapter. I really liked having Aizawa back in the picture. It was really, really great to see him again. I don't know why they showed that little panel of Shirakumo. Like that random panel in between the conversation that they're having. I don't know what significance that has in what's going to happen. Maybe he's like eavesdropping and...
What panel is that?
Like when...
Oh, yeah, when they show the shadow guy, the teleport cloud man.
Yeah, Kurogiri. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Kurogiri. I keep forgetting his name.
Okay,
I keep forgetting his like villain name, but...
Kurogiri. I think that I know the significance of this because I think like they're trying to frame it in that Aoyama and Kurogiri are in similar situations,
like kindred spirits.
Similar, not the exact same. Where Aoyama is very much doing the same thing for Kurogiri or Shiraku or whatever you go by. He's doing the same thing for Kurogiri as the Class 1A students are doing for Aoyama. So,
I think. Now that I think about it, I feel like it could be implying that Shirakumo is in there, but he's just not coming out of sheer, like, guilt. Like, maybe guilt is holding him back from really coming back. You know?
Yeah, it could be a myriad of things. It could be, the whatever control All for One has on him, but that could be also a factor that makes the control stronger. That's what it is with Aoyama, It's not just that, like, Aoyama's afraid of fighting All for One, is that like he's already just been controlled for so long by him at this point. It's hard to shake that kind of thing when somebody has that much of a grip of on your existence for that long. Because he's been like Aoyama got his quirk when he was like a kid, when he was like younger than like 10 years younger than this. So that's how long All for One has been just kind of like around in his life.
Right.
So, that's why I thank you for bringing that up, Brian, because I didn't even think about the Shirakumo panel. It's just like such a small panel that I kind of like scanned over it. But I
was kind of waiting for you to bring it up, but then you didn't, and I forgot.
Yeah, because I just like glanced over it. That's why I have co-hosts, because I miss things sometimes.
And also, I like that in that same page, when it's just Aizawa and Aoyama, they cut off Aoyama's waist to show that it's literally just the two of them, and All for One has no place in this conversation.
Yeah, I was wondering like the symbolism of like having him, because that's obviously where the restraints are on Aoyama.
Yeah, and that's also where the quirk that was given to him.
Oh, his belly, as well. Right? He's just talking to Aoyama, not to.
Yeah, so it's they literally cut. He literally cut All for One out of his body.
The power of symbolism.
The more that I like talk about this chapter, the more I actually start to like it a little bit more. Just because, like, I know that we don't really enjoy the way that you guys that they've been writing these couple chapters, but I feel like there's a lot of like. It feels like he's getting better at writing these things every chapter, though. Like it's like the first couple chapters were like, and he's kind of like tuning it together and making it more meaningful. Like he's making it more interesting. Just because, like, when you think about Aoyama before this. He's like an afterthought kind of character. He's not a character that you really, that you could really call like, oh shit, yeah, that's my favorite character and shit, So, there's a lot of weight behind what happened to him. Like, it's not something that you could just glance over, You can't just roll, you can't be like, oh, yep, he's the traitor, alright, and we all forgive him, that's it. Like, in the world of My Hero Academia, there has always been consequences for actions. Like, always. Like, when the students went to help All for One and save Bakugo, there was a consequence for that action. So like we can't just allow, like, forgiveness is never just the end of it when it comes to My Hero Academia. There's always a repentance that has to come with it. So I feel like they're just setting that up. They're setting up Aoyama to be repented at some point in this arc, in the coming arc.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's funny you say that, is that like I never thought Horikoshi was bad at writing these things. I think like my surprise is that like it's definitely felt like he's downgraded as of late. You know, because like there's moments, if you listen way back, we even like when Endeavor was going through his whole thing, we were like, oh my god, this is so good. Like he's being so measured in this particular character arc. He's so good at this type of storytelling. He did the same thing with Bakugo and Deku, how their relationship has changed over the years. And I think the thing about Aoyama being this afterthought character is that obviously that was what he was going for, but Aoyama he may have gone a little too far with it. You know, like Aoyama may have been a little too in the background for this twist to hold any, like, well, a lot of emotional weight to it. Because I do feel for him. And obviously I feel for him more in this chapter, reading it and talking about it with you guys. But at the same time, I'm just like, there's definitely a shift with me where Horikoshi became like kind of the best at the quiet moments and drawing out these like long and traumatized kind of storylines where somebody did somebody wrong and they really had to work at it. So maybe this is just the start of that again for Aoyama. But I guess like I feel like I've said this before. It's just kind of like a execution basis on this particular story aspect. But I do think Horikoshi usually, on his best day, is one of the best at kind of redemption stories.
I think the problem with Aoyama's story is that it requires too much thinking to actually like to get the picture of, because there's a lot of parallels with Aoyama. There's a lot of like, when you think about all the shit that adds up for Aoyama's story to work, you have to think about his comparison to Deku. You got to think about his comparison to Shirakumo. You got to think about all the shit that adds up to him being a traitor. So there's those three things alone require a lot of remembering. Like,
yeah,
the Deku comparison, they're both basically they're two sides of the same coin. Both were born quirkless. Both accepted their quirks from like All for One and One for All, and both of them went through completely different journeys. And for Shirakumo, you know, there's the whole traitor aspect. So there's just so much that you have to like kind of consider, you know? Like it's not explained enough in the story, so that's why it can feel a little less impactful. But when you think it over, it's a little bit better. But that doesn't really save it, in my opinion. I think you're right about that.
It does not.
No, that's what I'm saying, is that it was too subtle. He was like, I get you have to be subtle when you're doing a traitor storyline and you don't want people to figure it out. And we certainly didn't. So good on him for that. But the only reason we didn't is because we don't know enough about the supporting cast to make informed guesses, because the only thing we had was Hagakure, basically. So I don't know.
I still like this chapter regardless.
I liked it too.
It was a good chapter for Aizawa and a good chapter for Shinso. Love that guy.
Yeah, I feel bad because I feel bad because I actually like most chapters of My Hero Academia, although just trying to explain why there are certain points that are lackluster makes it seem like I'm bad, like I hate it. But I do. I feel like Horikoshi just like he had that long arc of non-stop action
So I feel like he's like trying to remember how to character write again a little bit. He's like, oh shit, how do I write people again?
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting because the fallout of the paranormal liberation, and even the war itself, was a very strange shift for My Hero Academia. Not necessarily at all making it into a bad manga, but something happened there.
No, there was a huge shift. Like it was like right after the My Villain Academia arc ended, it just kind of took a weird shift.
Yeah, and I guess I'm not like talking about in terms of, I guess like the overall like what the story is, but I guess like the narrative techniques and the way he tells the story, something flipped. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. I feel like hopefully down the road. Shinso arc. I'm here for it. Are we prepared to move onward, boys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 171, Tokyo No.1 Colony, part 11. Last we left off, Reggie and Megumi were fighting, doing cool domain shit. Megumi ended up...
He used the gym for his domain.
Yeah, doing his Chimera Shadow Garden. And the entire gym is enveloped entirely of shadows. And as the domain is being established, Megumi notices that Reggie is using his esoteric technique, Hollow Wicker Basket. And now we're going to get...
That was so funny.
Now we're going to get a ton of explanation. Because I think Jujutsu Kaisen might be the only manga to be able to get away with stopping the narrative to just explain what's happening right now.
Straight up.
So much technicalities in this chapter.
It is crazy. Jujutsu Kaisen is probably the only manga who can do this, and I'm like, this is cool. I don't know what it is. Okay, so here's how I understand it. I could be misunderstanding some things because like I don't super remember a ton about like simple domains and whatnot, but the way I understand it is Megumi established his domain. This Hollow Wicker Basket that Reggie establishes is to directly counter domains in general. So, you know, it's a lot like, apparently Hollow Wicker Basket and simple domains are different, but they're similar in that they prevent domains from being the guaranteed hit. Like, the whole point of a domain is that once you establish it, whatever attacks you do, they're fucking surefire. They're going to hit no matter what. So
that's the new domain style. Remember Higuruma said that.
Correct. It wasn't always like that.
Domains were like just basically like challenges.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, I guess, in terms of the modern rules that Jujutsu Kaisen established for most domains so far. They're one hit kill, not necessarily kill, but whatever attacks you use, they won't miss. So you either have to be able to guard or create a simple domain to kind of nullify the guaranteed hit policy. However, Megumi's Chimera Shadow Garden is still not at 100%. It's not like a full domain, especially since I guess there's a rule against using a physical space to kind of be the mold for your domain. Like, needing the gym to make this domain possible is what makes this kind of incomplete. If it was a full domain, he would be able to do it in the open air, and it's a domain in and of itself. So this is an incomplete domain. So there is no guaranteed hit here, but it does make him 120% times stronger.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, it just makes his curse technique so fucking strong. And that is what Reggie didn't understand about this domain, is because it was not complete. And the way he realizes this is that in the Chimera Shadow Garden, Megumi summons his frogs to strap down Reggie, and he's like, whoa, how'd they hit me? So yeah, he figured all that. And then Jujutsu Kaisen does what it does best. Jumps a guy. Megumi uses literal shadow clones to like curb stomp Reggie with his boys, which is him. God bless Reggie. He tries to counter as much as he can, but Megumi is...
Yeah, he does. He's really... he's really not a bad fighter at all.
No.
He even knew a simple domain technique. I was really impressed. Mm-hmm. I thought these guys were like new guys on the block and had no idea what all this curse shit was.
Oh yeah, man.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, so they just gang up on him and they just beat the flying fuck out of it. And Reggie's like, "Whoa, I get it. His clones and Shikigami took physical form before hitting me, so this barrier doesn't count." Oh wait, hold on. I turned the page. This barrier doesn't have a can't miss attack, and he just keeps getting beat. So he's like, "Whoa, this is actually even better than a like can't miss domain thing. Like just making your cursed techniques 120% stronger is better than just attacking and never missing." Yeah, he basically says if he brings out that elephant and showers me with water in here, I'll be limited to what half of I could do. Obviously, because his receipts will be destroyed probably by the water. So he throws a bunch of car notes in the air and drops them on the clones, seemingly killing them, I think. Megumi summoned Nue before, and I'm hoping he didn't kill Nue with this car, because I like Nue. So the cars drop, destroying the clones, and also Megumi just collapses under some kind of weight, and Reggie realizes that, okay, cool. All I had to do is reinforce my footing with cursed energy so I wouldn't be sucked in, and I realized this whole domain is your shadow. So Chimera Shadow Garden being just kind of like a buff to Megumi's overall cursed technique, which is, the shadow shit. So he figures that Megumi is able to carry things within his shadows. And he also deduced that since he's only ever seen Megumi wield this cursed tool, that he doesn't have the capacity to carry a bunch of stuff because he carries on the weight of whatever is in his shadow. So now that Reggie summoned all those cars, he's carrying 2.4 tons of weight in his shadow. So he's like, well, cool. All I have to do now is just keep piling on cars until you die. Yeah, it looks like it's a checkmate against Megumi until Megumi is like, you missed something. An incomplete domain is still a domain. There's a shadow above you, too. And there comes my boy, Max Elephant, coming down and crushing Reggie under its gigantic weight. So right now, Reggie's underneath the fucking elephant right now. And I guess they're playing a game of who's going to be crushed first. And that's where the chapter ends.
RGC.
Yeah, I think it's my RGC as well. Yours too?
Unified RGC.
You already know, boy. Unified, really good chapter of the week. Unified RGC.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Dude, Megumi is the most technical character in this entire series, and I fucking love it. Every time Megumi gets to scrap, it's literally always like a masterclass on technique in this series. Like, I can't think of another character who gets into more in-depth fights than Megumi.
Yeah. Well, before we go on, I do want to say that this is also the really good chapter of the week voted by the audience. However,
harmonic convergence.
Nope. Technically, no, because it is tied. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but One Piece was the second series that Jujutsu Kaisen tied with. So
fucking One Piece, bro.
Yeah, I'll give it one
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
So technically it's not a harmonic.
No, it's technically not because it tied with One Piece. But if you guys want to cast your vote on the next RGC, please hit us up on Twitter. We usually put the poll up on Sundays and we read the results. We only had 2 votes this week, and it was a dead even split between One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. So let us know what you think if you think so. But anyway, back to the chapter. I agree, and I think a lot of it with what Brian said about Megumi's fights being significantly more tactical, I guess. And I think the reason being is that Megumi is very much just always learning in his battles. So he's always just like refining his technique before your very eyes, and it's kind of pretty cool to see.
He's an unfinished product, even more so. Like, I mean, just as much as Itadori is, and that's what's really cool. And I can't believe that girl died. It's so trash.
Which girl? What?
The Smash Bros. Player.
Smash Bros. Player. Red? No, she's still alive. Wait, who's the girl? What are you talking about?
You know, the girl that was part of the trio.
Oh, the Scorpion. She's not dead.
Yeah.
She didn't die.
Yeah, but she ain't around. She should be.
She'll probably
be part of this arc.
I could see her pulling up again. She's still in the game. She can't leave. So, yeah. Anyway,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the scorpion-haired girl, right?
No, I'm talking about the girl with the hammer and nails.
You said
I forgot her name.
Oh, Nobara.
Nobara, yeah.
Nobara.
Sorry, Brian. No, Nobara.
I wish she was a part of this.
Don't disrespect her like that.
Right. Hey, she could be alive.
Yeah, but regardless, she ain't here, and that's kind of lame.
It is sad.
She's developing too.
Yeah, whenever you think that Nobara is not here, it's very sad. But we're trying to roll with the good times, Josh.
I know.
Cool battles. But yeah, I thought this chapter was fucking awesome. Such a fun read, as Jujutsu Kaisen usually is when it gets into its battles. Obviously, the discernment between like a battle in Jujutsu Kaisen as opposed to others is that it's very much like a game. So it is fun to see people circumvent rules and create rules and whatever they have to do to win. So very cool, very fun. There's not a lot to say for me because there is just so much action.
I have one more thing.
Go for it.
Yeah, please.
This whole fight with Reggie kind of got me to buy into the hype behind Megumi.
Yeah.
I now see why this dude is gonna be about it in the future. Like,
no, I love his character. I thought he was so lame, and I see that he did that on purpose.
I didn't think he was lame. I thought that I was just wondering why. What made him so special? Like to like what's his name? The fucking
Gojo?
To Gojo. What made him so special to Gojo? What made him so special to fucking demon dude in Itadori?
Well,
like,
here's the thing: is that like Megumi, I don't even think Megumi considered himself to be all that special. Like, I think like a lot of people saw the potential in him early on, and also Jujutsu High, like of his class, there's 3 students. Like, it's not a big school. There's not like a ton of kids there, so there's a lot of focus on the small amount of students they do have. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think Megumi considered himself any type of special. And I think it's more that like Gojo and even Sukuna are just like, I see potential in this kid. Especially since like Itadori, he's kind of looking at him through Itadori's eyes. So whenever Itadori sees him go out, he's like, oh, I think there's something
he
here.
knows.
Yeah. He's also a Zenin clan guy. So I think there's a lot of prestige with his like family name, I guess. Even though he technically was raised by that family, but
in his bloodline.
His skill is leagues above many people.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I would like to go on the record and say I was always a Megumi believer. I wasn't always...
Not me.
I saw it. I'm like Gojo, guys. I see potential where there is none.
I think he's the most skilled curse technique user in the series so far. I
think you're wrong first.
Yeah, let's not go that far because he's learning.
I think that curse spirits is better than him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, part of the reason that makes Megumi such an engaging person to watch battle is that he is still learning and he is like adjusting his own technique and fighting his own way. But he's not the best, obviously. He can't make
I'm not saying he's the best, he's the most skilled.
I don't even think that much.
Because the way that if you take his curse technique on paper, it's not that great. He makes it good.
Sure.
He makes this shit great.
No, you could argue that he could be using Shikigami even smarter or summon even better ones if he had more talent.
Yeah.
You know, Yes, you can. I'm really playing devil's advocate as far as that goes, but I just feel like there's been more skillful displays. You know what I'm saying, by like other people. Maybe you could say for his age and his bracket.
Yeah,
I guess. But like even Toto, he used his curse ability way like more creatively and effectively than this guy. And all he did was he could teleport people, which is pretty sick. But you still have to use a whole bunch of strategy, and the other person could use it against you too if they time it and such. You know?
Yeah, so, I agree. I definitely
that's just one person off the top of my head.
But Toto's is a lot more straightforward. Like the reason why Megumi I feel like is more skillful is because his stuff is so much more specific and resource based. Like there's a lot that you have to manage when it comes to Megumi's quirk that you have to make it work. Like Shikigami don't grow on trees. Those things literally die and they don't come back. So he has to be careful.
They don't come back.
They don't.
I don't remember whether they do.
One of his dogs died, and he hasn't summoned them ever again.
Well, they all look the same, so it's kind of hard.
No, they don't. There's the black dog, and then there's the white dog. The black dog died, and they never came back.
Listen, I'm not going to argue that because I don't remember enough far back to really.
It's true. That's literally what happened.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I don't know what enough to say.
Like just like I literally explained. Before you mention it again, I still think Toto's technique is way less. He has way less to work with than Megumi does, and he does it more skillfully and more effectively, in my opinion. That's just one. And again, that's just one character. What about what's his name?
What about Reggie? Uses his thing pretty. I would say that Reggie's a very skilled fucking. User.
Yeah, him too.
He neutralized.
Oh yeah, the way he was timing and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Higuruma. There's a lot of really skilled ones that kind of take, and that's the point. Like Megumi's not supposed to be the most skilled right now. He's supposed to be the most adaptable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe one day, the most skilled.
I just don't think he's the most skilled right now, but he could definitely get there. I think he's the most strategic thinker so far, and that's going to lead him to be like probably one of the best.
Yeah, he's definitely the
most skilled. He's just not there right now.
Yeah, he's also crazy. Like he does have a penchant for like pushing himself further than he has to in battle. Like the first time he engaged his like domain, like almost killed him. So I think he's also very much more prone to taking big risks in order to get the W. So I think that stands out about him as well. And not to say that he's not skilled at all. He's very skilled, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's the most skilled. But
yeah, he's not different from Itadori in that way, and I think that's what's cool about them being cool, like friends. I can't wait to see them do a tag team fight. I think that'll be really sick.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's it for Jujutsu Kaisen. What a fun chapter. What a fun series overall. Are you guys ready to move onward?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 319. Great Magic Knights versus King of Devils. You already know what time it is. It's the Soul Society captains. I mean, the captains of the Clover Kingdom mages. They pulled up to hit Lucifer with their best shot, and Lucifer obviously just like destroys the captains. It's not even close, but it is good looking because of the art.
It does look incredible. I can say that much.
Yeah, it's an entertaining battle so far, and of course, fucking Lucifero got an attitude the entire time, just like pointless, and he's just mad that these captains just keep coming after him. He says the mere idea of lonely humans challenging me to battle disgusts me. You should be despairing and prostrating yourselves.
Prostrating, yeah, that I had a laugh there. I love the attitude he has because it's it's not that it's not pretentious, but the way he's going about it, he's talking to them straight up.
Yeah.
He's like, I want this to end now. He's not like saying, oh, Sai, I'm so annoyed. He's explaining to them exactly how he feels. He's articulating his thoughts. Not because he sees them as worthy of it, but because that is who he is.
Yeah.
He's not a Sai, I guess, bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say,
and I like that.
He's adjacent.
I like that a lot.
He's adjacent to that. He's it is funny that I do appreciate Lucifero more than like the trope of his kind type of thing, because it is kind of funny the way that like
we get a little bit of it here.
Yeah, the way that Tabata draws him. Yeah, the way that Tabata draws him is very entertaining because you could just see the. Ugh. At this point, I'm just like, yo, why did you even come here, bro? You don't seem to want to be here. You could have just stayed in hell and had a good time. But yeah, he says you should be prostrating yourselves. And Mary Leona tries to do something, but she gets batted away. And she says, sorry, but no can do. No matter how far beneath you we are, we've been granted the title of the strongest, all of them say at the exact same time. Making Lucifero very angry that they even...
Oh, no, that shit had him sick.
He couldn't fucking believe what they were saying to him right now. And that's when Asta pulls up behind him out of the debris and smoke. Very cool 2-page spread, to be honest. As he's yelling at the top of his lung, like you could ever understand how awesome great magic knights are. And that's where the chapter ends. I mean, you know.
I had to check the page count. I was like, all right, 15? It was a lot. It was a ton of 2-page spreads.
Yeah, lots of big panels.
It was very Bleach. Very, very Kuboian.
Yeah, I like that word. Kuboian. No, yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of the same thing we had last week. It's not a bad thing at all. It isn't. I'm actually enjoying Black Clover right now. Even though like we know even though we knew what was going to happen. It is so much shonen trope stuff, you know, but, you know, it's gloriously so. I'm enjoying it, but it's also...
Do you think this guy's about to have his head chopped off?
Yo, you think the series is going to end right next chapter?
No. But I do think he's going to cut his head off, and then his head's going to float, and he's going to be like, why are you doing this?
How dare you attack my neck? Yo, what he'll do, he'll probably just, like... expose his neck and then go towards it more and then just get mad that happens still, because that's how Lucifero rolls. He'll just get mad at himself. He'll get mad at you for him putting his neck to your blade.
Right, like
how dare you. You went through with it even after I exposed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
how many times must I repeat myself?
Yeah,
I am better than you.
Yeah, I could definitely see Asta chopping off his head and be like, pointless. It's not gonna... I could survive my head chopped off. I'm literally Satan.
Well, we know he could get hurt, for sure.
Yeah, he can get hurt. As he's displayed when he hurt himself. But yeah, I mean...
Yeah, so...
No real point in really harping on here. It was a cool chapter. Lots of great art. Lots of cool action. But not a lot of story to analyze. So... You know, we'll return in a moment, I guess. But yeah, let's move on to our next series. Undead Unluck. This is Undead.
Autumn's been captured?
Yeah. Well, this is Undead Unluck chapter 94.
And everything else has been slain.
Yeah, they killed everything but Autumn.
Why? Why is Autumn still alive?
I think they need...
It's arguably the grossest.
That was the mission for Autumn, that they only had to capture Autumn, but they had to kill everything else. This is Undead Unluck chapter 94, the 4 dead seasons. I guess I would say the 3 dead seasons and the 1 captured one. But no, that's all right.
And the 1 captured.
The 1 captured one, but all right, I guess. And we start off with this chapter with a bit of a narration as Andy basically like lays out the character development arc for Fuko up to this point. You know, talking about how like I only kept you alive because I was only protecting you so you could bring about my own death. and you should have been terrified getting wrapped up into the whole god-slaying thing. But despite that, you've always shown care for others and giving it your all. And you keep...
Her life did turn up to like 1 million.
What do you mean?
Like she went from a very regular life to I guess her unluck shit was, made life really weird for her. Never mind. I mean, but she ran into somebody that wanted to die and then ended up fighting gods. Like that's
pretty cool.
I don't know. pretty crazy arc.
Yeah. All under
pretty crazy progression.
Yeah.
And I talk shit about My Hero Academia. I mean, this nigga, Fuko, she done seen some shit in about a few weeks.
In under 100 chapters. I mean, to be fair, Undead Unluck seems to have been constantly under the chopping block the entire time. So,
yeah, we're not gonna relitigate that, but yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you keep pressing on, you get stronger, and he's Fuko. Andy puts his hand on Fuko's head and saying, "You did good. You risking life and limb to make contact with Spring saved his heart along with the world. You gave him a satisfying death, the thing that he's been searching for this entire time. That's sick. I've got to envy him."
That's sick.
That I want to die like that too. And Fugo's like, but the best I could do is summon meteorites for you. And Andy comes up with a counter to that. He's like, well, then it's my turn to fall in love with you. And she's like, what? He's like,
I thought you already did.
And he's like, no, well, you love me, and that all that can do is make meteorites, but we've never tried mutual love before, so maybe that'll make it even stronger, and then you'll finally be able to give me the greatest death ever. So, yeah, pretty cool. Fuko's like, wait, how are you gonna do that? And Andy's like, I'm gonna drag you around the world and get into even wilder shenanigans. Can you keep up?
Oh shit! Sounds like the series is gonna keep continuing.
Whoa, yeah, you think so? You think the series is gonna go on?
Then you turn the page.
I wonder if it's gonna go on. Oh wait, 2-page spread of I guess this is God stabbing Fuko through the chest.
Right, I guess. I mean,
who the fuck is this guy?
That's right.
I guess it's God. As Fuko just falls to her knees. And everybody just processing what happened just now. Like, what? And then the guy starts talking like, that won't do. For people like us, for people like the two of us, one's capable of overcoming the loop. Death isn't an option. And that's when Andy draws his sword and cuts this dude clean through from like his arm across his torso. And he's just floating in the air. Just like still cut in half and smiling like yeah. With his vampire teeth just like
Why did he pull up like oh hey?
Oh sup. This series has got a limited time, I bet. So we gotta speed this climax along.
Yo, he just look at his face. On the first page they showed him when she's saying wicked and getting stabbed. He's just like
what's up?
Oh
yoink.
Was that your friend? And then he starts getting charismatic. I was like, oh, okay. He's not going to be a whatever kind of villain.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, I would be surprised, I guess, if this guy wasn't anything but God. The chapter ends in a 2-page spread. The chapter ends in a 2-page spread where,
gotta be God, yeah.
Rip pulls up to Fuko and he yells that she hasn't got a pulse and that Fuko seems to be dead at this point. Oh man, I actually don't know how this is going to turn out.
Me neither. I have a feeling she's actually dead.
That would be interesting. I mean,
there's only one way to bring her back, and that's for God to be like, okay, I'll reset everything.
All right, I'll let you kill me with this.
Stop being an asshole too, and make things fairer for people, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see though. This was a hell of a twist. I honestly didn't see it coming. Mostly because I guess I wasn't expecting us to be now full on sprinting to the end. I guess.
Well, Who knows?
I mean, if this is just the start of a brand new,
it is
not the end of the series arc, I would be actually very surprised. Yeah, I'm hoping
they gotta go around the world, bro.
Hey, listen, I know I was talking all this positive vibes earlier, but man, Undead Unluck is.
No, it's over. That's God. He's about to end their whole career. He's gonna loot them again. They're gonna wake up like, God damn it. Oh well.
And honestly,
I hope you guys had fun reading.
Genuinely, it's a shame because I feel like the series could have been something. I mean, maybe we are speaking too soon, but it doesn't feel like too soon.
Let's see how it goes next chapter before we jump out the window. But I thought it was a really cool chapter. It was actually my third favorite.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, and then this.
Yeah, I definitely felt like, whoa, they just killed Fuko. So it really gave me a genuine sense of surprise, and I was like, whoa, no, not Fugo. But yeah, if it's going away, I'm going to miss it. But if it's not, welcome to the new arc, baby. They're fighting against Uncancel the series?
Uncancel.
Yeah, the Uncancel. But I think that's it for our manga this week. That has been Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Wow-wee. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show this week. We got our manga back. Thankfully, we'll have almost everyone back. Apparently, One Piece is off next week, so, we won't get any Zoe explanation, but whatever, man. I'm glad that it's back overall. But in any case, thank you guys so much for listening. You could find me at the Chris Espinal, Josh at JDCole_37, and at NYChillin on Twitter, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Brian on twitch.tv/It's Punchline for his gaming stream. That would be super cool. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Or hit us up on our Twitter or Instagram at newjumpcity. Or comment underneath the videos that we post, whether it's the full version or the little highlight breakouts we make for you guys every week. Subscribe, like the pod while you're at it. If you prefer audio podcasts, every episode we've ever done is on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. So check us out. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week, New Jump citizens. Stay safe.
Peace out, everybody.